Hi there, Eric Bakker, author of Candida Crusher. Just doing a video today outlining some of the benefits and advantages of my book, Candida Crusher. The book that took me 3 years to research and write. The book that took me 25 years to compile through all my clinical knowledge, seeing over 15,000 patients. So a huge amount of work has gone into my book. I'm just going to read out some of the benefits, some of the advantages you're going to find in my book as opposed to any other book on this topic. The most effective vaginal yeast infection treatment plan yet developed. A two-stage approach for chronic vaginal yeast infections. I found nothing better. I looked at all the books and I found nothing that comes even close to this type of approach that's been used now for several years in my clinic. It nails yeast infections that are chronic hands down every single time. So if you're serious about really trying to get rid of that chronic vaginal infection, this is the approach that you want to use. It's helped several thousand females that I know in my clinic alone. So it's certainly worth consideration. The most effective Jock itch treatment plan found. This is a treatment plan which I've worked on for many years now. I've got many hundreds and hundreds of male patients right with seriously chronically itchy conditions which have plagued them for many years. So it's quite a good one. My 2 secret weapons to fight Candida after treating many Candida patients for a long time. You'll find this on page 567 of the book. 8 different home tests for yeast infections, totally unique information. This is information which I've basically put together after seeing many patients, and I tried to think what are some low cost or no cost ways that you can actually find out if you've got a yeast infection at home, and you'll find that in my book, page 120. The Candida Test Tracker. If you can't measure the response of a treatment program, what's the point in even treating it? Doctors test and measure by putting you on a drug and then getting you back and doing blood testing or scans or x-rays to find out if they've been successful. Doctors aren't interested in your subjective information. They tend to test everything. I tend to test things too, and I firmly believe in the test. Testing to see if your treatment is successful. So I've put down a test tracker together in my book on page 129. The Symptom Tracker, page 135. So I'm going to get you to track your symptoms over a period of 12 weeks. No other book does this. This is called accountability. If you're coming to me because you're sick with a yeast infection and you want to get well, and I recommend a treatment program, I'd like you to track your symptoms, particularly measure the severity of these symptoms over a 3-month period to see what kind of improvements you get. It's called common sense. My 3-stage fast relief plan for vaginal yeast infection. So I've got a 3-step plan you can use for acute conditions to give you some relief from the itching and the odor, all the discomfort. And I've got a 2-stage chronic program which I like you to use pre and post menstrually. 10 quick tips for female yeast infections, page 151. 10 quick tips for nail yeast infections, page 167. 10 quick tips for mouth and throat yeast infections, page 174. 10 quick tips for diaper yeast infections, page 181. 100 plus pages on lifestyle changes. A lot of information on accountability and how you can help yourself overcome this yeast infection. Many pages on herbal supplements, medications and things that you can do to help get on top of your yeast infection. More than 25 comprehensive case studies. You'll find a lot of these on yeastinfection.org, and etc. But have a look. These are all these wimpy books which I purchased. There's 4 books here which have cost me close to $200 to buy these 4 books. So compare these wimpy books here with my book. So this is Candida Crusher, 718 pages, and then have a look at these 4 wimpy books here. So you can start seeing my point here. I've spent a lifetime working on Candida yeast infections, and this is my book. In fact, it's so fat, it needs to go on a weight loss program. So, in fact, I've actually printed the book off in 2 parts. If we look at a lot of these wimpy books here, which I won't show you the covers of, I paid $19 for this book. Useless. I paid $29 for this book. Pretty well useless. Not much good information in it. Rehashed information from a lot of my articles online. 29 bucks. This book, I think, was about $35. Not a bad book, but it just hasn't got the depth of knowledge that I put into my book after 25 years of clinical practice. So that's just a bit about Candida Crusher. So if you're interested in my book, you can go to candidacrusher.com and read a lot more about it. So I hope that puts my book into perspective with a lot of these other books available on the market. Thanks for your time.